According to the National Center for Educational Statistics in 1994, 48% of people with special needs received educational services within regular classrooms. In 2012, that number jumped to 70%, according to the U.S. Department of Education. Throughout elementary and high school, I had many students in my classes that were mainstreamed, so to speak. In third grade, I had a boy in my class named Billy. I will never forget him. I don't remember what condition he had, but for half the day he was with my class. For the other half, he went somewhere else. He had a personal aide, but she treated the whole class with kindness and she helped everyone out. He had to use a special cushion to sit on, and he had to use these special grip things to hold his pencil. Billy didn't catch on as fast as the other students, and it was very difficult for him to remain attentive. In high school, there was a wing with a few special education classrooms. This is where those students spent most of their day, and they were taught some subjects, but for most of the day they were actually taught basically how to be janitors. For classes such as gym and lunch and sometimes art, they were mixed in with non-inclusion students, and you could just tell that this was their favorite time of the day. They were just so happy, Most of the students had mental disorders, so they couldn't really be placed in regular classrooms for all subjects, but they were just, when they were around everyone else, they were just so excited to be there, they actually felt fit in. The points I'm going to be covering today are what mainstreaming in education is, how it is beneficial for students with disabilities, and how it is beneficial for students without disabilities. My thesis statement is mainstreaming in education can be both beneficial for students with and without special needs for many reasons. This is why I strongly agree with it. To begin, I'm going to explain what mainstreaming in education is. Mainstreaming in education is when special education students are placed in regular classrooms for at least part of the day. These students are placed in regular classrooms during specific time periods, but it's based on what their needs are. If they have really severe mental disorders, then they won't be placed in a regular education classroom for very long. Special education students can be placed in regular education classes for subjects such as gym and English, but then for math and science, they could be in a special education classroom. The classes that have both special education students and non-special education students are called inclusion classes. Now I'm going to explain how mainstreaming in education is beneficial for students without disabilities. Mainstreaming gives these students a chance to familiarize what a person with disabilities is like. This will help them as they grow up, mature, and become more independent. When a non-disabled student is placed in a classroom environment with a disabled student, basically on a daily basis, they begin to learn to be able to understand more. These children begin to realize that some students may need extra help and they may not be like them. And these students also learn the aspects of tolerance and patience. Inclusion classes also help teach non-disabled students to include others in activities in and out of the classroom, even if this child isn't like them or isn't normal, so to say. Mainstreaming in education is beneficial for students with disabilities more so, I believe. Inclusion classes are a self-esteem booster for many special education students. Being in a classroom environment with students without disabilities makes them feel like they fit in. It gives these students a chance to socially interact and be included with students other than the group that they're placed with, and they're more confident about being around other kids. Being in an environment with non-disabled students make these children believe that they're normal, basically, and gives them a better feeling of equality. They don't feel as in others look at them as if they're weird. and other children make fun of them. This kind of environment helps disabled students believe that they shouldn't be treated any differently than students that don't have disabilities. Inclusion classes also give disabled students a variety in classes, and it gives them a chance to learn more than they would in like a self-contained special education classroom. Mainstreaming gives these students a chance to do more than just sit in like one classroom all day long. They get to move around and do everything that any normal non-disabled student would do. In exclusion classes, special education students are usually taught more basic life skills other than like information on certain topics, like how to spell, how to do math problems, science, that kind of stuff. They don't really do much of that. Educational mainstreaming also helps better prepare these special needs students for future life in the social skills aspect. Inclusion classrooms give special education students a chance to observe the way that non-disabled students interact socially with each other. They also learn from this. I believe that this will increase their interaction with other kids and other students, and these students will help them and inspire them while in school and then in the future as they grow up. In conclusion, mainstreaming in education is a great way for special education students to feel normal. When they're mixed in with other students, they don't feel out of place anymore. This boosts these students' self-esteem, and it helps them feel more accepted into society and gives them more communication skills. Mainstreaming is also beneficial to non-disabled students as well because it gives them a chance to familiarize what a person with disabilities is like and how to react with these kind of people. This also helps them as they grow up and become more mature and more independent. Clearly, I'm fully supportive of mainstreaming in an educational environment. I completely understand and agree with this purpose, and I believe that more schools all over should take mainstreaming into consideration. And I also believe that schools that do have mainstreaming should consider making their programs stronger and bettering them. So after hearing about this cause, I hope you guys feel the same way, and I hope you will join the support in mainstreaming education. Thank you.